Namaste, Shubhodaya, good morning. A very warm welcome to another session of Weekend with Wisdom. Let me begin with a prayer. Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurme Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhatrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swadha Namostute Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Shri Dakshinamurthy Namaha Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hare Once again, a very warm welcome to everyone. Today we have with us Professor CSR Prabhuji joining us from Hyderabad, and he will be delivering a talk on the introducing the audience to the famous Dakshinamurthy Stotram composed by Adi Shankara Bhagavad-padacharya, a very important stotram to understand Vedanta, to understand Sri Dakshinamurthy. Thank you, sir, for making time for this session. Let me give a brief introduction to the speaker. Professor Prabhuji is an eminent scientist who holds prestigious position in government and professional bodies. He was Director General of National Informatics Center, Government of India at New Delhi, and headed Computer Society of India's Hyderabad chapter, and is also the chairman of ACM Hyderabad Deccan chapter. He authored 16 books, of which 12 are on cutting-edge subjects such as fog computing and big data analytics. He heads Vishwa Yoga Vidyapeeth and has taught yoga globally. We are very happy to have you, sir. Please go ahead and start your session. Shall I show the Dakshinamurthy now?
Yes.
We'll start with just an image of Dakshinamurthy.
Dakshinamurthy is an avatar of, or is a manifestation of Lord Shiva himself at a particular context. The context is that the Brahmajnanis and Brahma Manasaputras, who are 4 in number, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanat Sujata, Sanat Kumara, Sanat Sujata, 4. Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, Sanat Sujata. Each one of them is a stalwart in the Vedanta Advaita domain. We have Sanat Sujatiyam, a great book on Advaita. We have Sanat Kumara, who is the greatest of Mahayogis, and the Lalita Sahasranamam and other texts are associated with him. So those people, the 4 of them, wanted to find a guru, and they went everywhere. They were brahmacharis, and they could not find a brahmachari guru anywhere. Neither of the Trimurtis were brahmacharis. So they got disappointed, and they were going from one place to the other. First they went to Brahmalokam, then they went to Vaikuntham, then they went to Kailasam. And everywhere they found there is no brahmachari status of the guru whom they are waiting for. So from north, that is Kailasa Parvata, they were returning back towards the south. So when they were coming down from Kailasa Parvata into the south direction, they found a Murti, a figure. That's why they call him Dakshinamurthy, who was a bachelor, who was very young, and he went and sat down at the base of a banyan tree and facing the south. So they all went and sat in front of him. And Chitram Vatatarur Mule Vruddha Sishya Guru Riva. They were older than him. They were also young, but they were older than him. He was much younger. Gurostu Mauna Vyakhyana. and they were waiting for him to speak. But he gave a speech in profound silence. Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam. But he did express and convey a huge knowledge and in-depth understanding of Parabrahma Tattvam while being silent in his eloquent lecture of silence. And they got all their doubts clarified in that process. Chitram Vatadarur Mule Vruddha Sishya Gurur Yuva Gurostu Mauna Vyakhyanam Sishyastu Chinna Samshaya Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvaram Varsishta Anteva Sadrasaganai Arfrutai Brahmanishtai Acharyendram Karakalita Chinmudram Anandarupam. He is sitting in Chinmudra in a blissful state. His face is expressing smile. Chinmudram Anandarupam Swatmaramam. He is enjoying Ananda within himself. Muditavadanam. He is in a happy, smiling face. Dakshinamurthy Mide. So we pray to that Dakshinamurthy, whose image you just saw. His images are available extensively everywhere. And he is there in every temple of Shiva, anywhere in South India. He will be there facing south, mostly. Mauna Vyakhya Pragadita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam Varsishtante Vasadrishiganairavrutam Brahmanishtai Acharyendram Karakalita Chinmudramanandarupam Swatma Ramam Muditavadanam Dakshinamurthy Mide. We pray to Dakshinamurthy, who is in a smiling face, in a blissful state of silence, surrounded by the Rishiganas, including the Brahma Manasa Putras, Sanaka Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, Sanat Sujata. Vatavidapi Samipe, Bhumi Bhage Nishannam, Sakala Munijananam Jnanadata Maharaj. Tribhuvana Gurumisham Dakshinamurti Devam Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham Namami. We pray and meditate upon Dakshinamurti, who is capable of cutting down, destroying the sequence of birth and death. Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham Namami. He can cut down the sorrow, eliminate the sorrow, and also cut down the chain of birth and death. Chitram Vatatarur Mole Gruddha Sishya Guru Yuva Gurostu Mauna Vyakhyanam Sishyastu Chinna Samshaya Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Bhishage Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. He is a treasure of all knowledge of all subjects. Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Bhishaje Bhavaroginam. He is a doctor. Bhishak for all the miserable diseased conditions of the Bhavarogas. Bhavaroga means samsara, bandha, dukkha, trividha dukkhas, adhibhautika, adhidevika and adhyatmika dukkhas. Vishaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarvalokaram. He was the guru of all beings in all lokas in the Krita Yuga. So he was the guru of the Krita Yuga itself. And in Treta Yuga it was Vasishtha. In Dwapara Yuga it was Vedavyasa. In Kali Yuga it is Shankaracharya. Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Bhishaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarvalokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namah. Om Namah Pranavardhaya Sajjajnanaikamurtaye Shuddhajnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Namah Pranavardhaya. He is the meaning of Pranava. Om. Shuddhajnanaikamurtaye. He is manifestation of pure jnana. Nirmalaya Prashantaya. He is the purest personality and he is the deepest peaceful personality. Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. So why he is called Pranavardha? Because he is Ishvara. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Rupaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. We have heard this many times, even today in the beginning we have heard this. So he is Ishvara, Tasya Vachaka Pranavaha. Patanjali made a sutra that Ishvara's indication is Pranava, Om. Therefore, Pranavardha means Ishvara. Nama Pranavardhaya Satya Jnanaika Murtaya. He is full of Satya and Jnana. Satya Jnana, Ekamurti, one form. Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. What does this mean? There are three dimensions: Ishvara, Guru, and Atma. That is Paramatman. All the three bundled into one, and that is Dakshinamurti. So, friends, in this whole stotra, which we will be now starting the explanations, three-dimensional perception is presented. Three-dimensional understanding has to be arrived at. What are the three dimensions? Ishvara, Guru, Atma. So whatever words are used, they are applicable to Ishvara, they are applicable to Guru, that is Dakshinamurti, and Atma, that is Paramatma. Because in the Advaitic parlance, Atma, Paramatma are one and the same. To think that Atma is different from Paramatma is delusion and illusion and ajnana, avidya. So Atma, Ishvara and Guru, all three converging and bundled together into one single personality of Dakshinamurti. So we are now trying to understand the entire Advaita Vedanta which Shankaracharya presented in a very, very profound and efficient and an unimaginably great manner in the Dakshinamurti Stotra. Now, the advantages of understanding the contents of Dakshinamurti Stotram are it encompasses the entire Advaitic knowledge. All Upanishads on one side, and including Brahma Sutras and Bhagavad Gita, and Dakshinamurti Stotram on the other side. It imbibes, it embeds, it is embedding within itself the entire Advaita Vedanta Jnana into this single stotram. It is not an ordinary stotram. Normally, stotram means, oh, you are like this, you are like that, explanation. Till now, whatever we have read, Chitram Vatatarur Mule Vruddha Sishya Guru Riva Gurostu Mauno Vyakhyano Sishyastu Chinna Samshaya. So these are the kind of descriptions, but also the description like Chitram, he is keeping silent and he's Swatmaramam Muditavadanam. These are all descriptions. All the other stotras, which Shankaracharya wrote also and others wrote also, are only descriptions. But Tattvajnanam, the Advaita Tattvajnanam is embedded deeply into this. It is not an ordinary stotra. And each of the slokas which we will be now studying can be interpreted for all the three dimensions, Ishvara, Guru and Atma. So let us start off with first one. Vishvam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyan Nijantargatam Pashyan Atmani Mayaya Bahirivodbhutam Yadha Nidraya Sakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye Swatmanameva Dvayam Tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. This universe is an image in a mirror of your own consciousness. Vishwandarpana drishyamana nagari tulyam. Similar to that, Nijantargatam Pashyan, having seen that, Bahirivodbhutam Mayaya, it appears as if it is outside, Bahiriva. That means the universe which you see is actually within yourself. It appears to be there outside. That means it is a projection. It is not real. Vishwam darpana drishyamana nagari tulyam nijantargatam. If you take a mirror onto a top of a hill, the entire nagari, that city of Hyderabad, can be reflected, any city, in the mirror. Suppose you take mirror to the Birla temple, which is in the top of a mountain in Hyderabad, and show that mirror towards the city of Hyderabad. The whole Hyderabad city will be reflected in that mirror. But in the same way, in the Nijantargatam, the Antarangam, the Antakaranam, Manobuddhi, Hankara, Chitta, four Antakaranas are there. This universe is appearing as an image and appearing as if it is outside. It is opposite of what example I told you. It is first an image, then it appears as if it is there outside. Yas sakshat kurute prabodha samaye yatha nidraya. Because in sleep also, the whole dream has appeared outside in you, though it is not outside, it is inside only yourself, but it appears as if it is outside in the dream. Yatha nidraya. In the same way, when you wake up from the dream, you realize that, oh, it was a dream, it was not real. You are so happy about it. So in the same way, when you wake up from this Maya delusion, Maya moha, in which we are submerged now, then that is when you get the jnana and you wake up, then you will realize that, oh, this was also a projection of myself. All good and bad and all events, all personalities and interactions, bad experiences, good experience, all these are only your own mental projections appearing as to be outside in the so-called real world, which is actually unreal. Yes, sakshat kurute prabodha samaye. When you wake up, you realize this is the fact. When you wake up from a dream, you realize. When you wake up from the delusion of Maya in the waking state, you realize. Then what do you realize? Sat swatmanamevadvayam sakshat kurute. You realize only you are there and nothing else is there. The dream world has just disappeared. It doesn't exist. So also when you wake up from this delusion of Maya Moha, then you will be realizing only yourself are there. You are the only one which exists. Swatmanameva advayam, without a second. Ekameva advitiyam brahma. Nehananasti kinchana. Whatever he is telling is not new. It is already there in the Mahavakyas, in the Upanishads, in Brahma Sutras, in all the texts of Advaita. Yas sakshat kurute prabodha samaye swatmanameva advayam. You realize only you are the only truth. You alone exist. Tasmai Sri Guru Murti, and this is the Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana being conveyed, and it is being depicted upon Dakshinamurthy as a Guru, Ishvara as a Guru. So Ishvara, Guru, Atma, all the three dimensions are being presented, the same Advaitic knowledge. Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye Bijasyantarivankuro Jagadidam Pranirvikalpam Punah Maya Kalpita Deshakala Kalana Vaichitrya Chitrikrutam Mayaviva Vijrumbhayadyapi Mahayogi Vayasvechaya Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye Bijasyantarivankuro Jagadidam Prang Nirvikalpam. In the bija, in the seed, the entire tree is embedded. The whole banyan tree, which is very huge, is embedded in a 1 millimeter circle seed. Bijasyantarivankuro. Similarly, Jagadidam, this universe, is embedded in prag nirvikalpam, in the nirvikalpa stage, in the avyakta narayana, avyakta stage. Avyakta vyaktaya sarva prabhavantya haragame ratriagame viliyante tatraiva avyakta sanyake. 8th chapter Bhagavad Gita. That means before the universe was created, this whole universe was embedded in the avyakta, inside the avyakta, nirvikalpa. Then what happened after that? Maya kalpita Deshakala kalana vaichitrya chitrikrutam. So space and time, Deshakala kala, the multifarious universe, the magnificent universe which manifests itself, is created out of the space-time framework by Maya. Maya kalpita Deshakala kalana vaichitrya chitrikrutam. Mayaviva vijrumbhayatyapi. So who is creating all this Maya? Mayik is magic. Ya becomes Ja in various languages. So Mayik means magic. The magician is creating. Mayavi, the magician, is creating this. Mayaviva vijrumbhayati. The magician is exalting, is soaring big in creating this magnificent universe as an illusion. But to the audience, it appears to be real. Whatever the magician performs is not real, but it appears to be real to the audience only, not to the magician. And he is free, he is not under the influence of this magic. Mahayogi vasvechaya. He is free as Svecha. He is not going to be influenced under this magic spell. There is an episode I heard of a magician somewhere in 1920s in a village. He called all the villagers to a big palace building and said, I'm going to swallow this palace building. Now you see. So suddenly the palace building disappeared and he said, I have swallowed it. And all were convinced. But one man who is on the top of a palm tree far away, who was not under this spell, he didn't see any such magic. He saw the palace as it is and did not disappear. Then he shouted, see, he is just fooling you. It has not disappeared. And then this magician looked at him also and he hypnotized him also. So that fellow also started saying, no, he has swallowed. It is not there. So this is the Mayavi magician, Vijrumbhayati, and he is himself in Svecha, in total freedom. Mahayogi vayasvechaya dasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. Who is that doing all this? The Ishvara Guru Dakshinamurti. So Atma, Ishvara, Guru, all the three are being convergent. Yasyaiva sphuranam sadatmakam asatkalpardhakam bhasate. साक्षात् तत्त्वमसीति वेदवचसायो बोधयत्याश्रितान् यत्साक्षात्करणात् भवेन्न पुनरावृत्तिः भवाम्भोनिधौ तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये. So, whose realization? Yasyaiva sphuranam sadatmakam, which is pure existence, Sat. Asat kalpardhakam bhasate. That self-effulgent pure existence manifests as Asat also. Sakshat tattvamasiti vedavachasayo bodhayatyasritan. He who teaches the word Tattvamasi to all his dependents who have surrounded him, gathered around him. Asritan, what is he teaching? Tattvamasi, you are that. You are Brahman. What is Tat? That is Brahman. What is Tvam? You. You are that. Sakshat Tattvamasi iti Veda Vachasa Yogodhayatyasritan yat sakshatkaranat bhavenna punaravrittir bhavambho nidho. Whose realization of Tattvamasi, the self, oneself as Advaita stage, Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma, Ayamatma Brahma, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, this realization conveyed by the Mahavakyas will result in na punaravritti bhavet, no rebirth going to happen once you realize this. How come is it like that? Because the moment you realize your identity with the Brahman, as indicated in Tattvamasi Aham and other Mahavakya, the moment you realize, you are liberated. Because you have nothing to do with your body, you have nothing to do with your mind. And the mind carrying vasanas, karma, which would have led to the next birth. The moment you realize Sakshat Bhavet Punaravritti Rahita Punaravritti Bhavambho Nidho, in this samsara sagara, you will na bhavet. Punaravritti na bhavet. You know, in all the death rituals, every year, every month we conduct for our ancestors, there is a sloka. Punaravritti Rahita Shashvata Parabrahmaloke Nitya Nivasa Praptirastu. May this soul who is dead, may he reach a stage of Brahmi Sthiti, Punaravritti Rahita in the Brahmaloka, Shashvata Brahmaloke, Nitya Nivasa Prapti. May that soul remain in the Brahmaloka only forever. That means if you are established in the Brahmaloka in Brahmi Sthiti, Esha Brahmi Sthiti Pardha, Naivam Prapya Muhyati, Sthitwasya Mantakalepi Brahma Nirvana Muchati. You will reach Nirvana, Brahma Nirvana, Moksha, liberation. You will not come back to be born again and suffer so many problems which we had enough suffering in this life and other lives in the past. So how to be not born again? This is the only way. Jnana Mukti, Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana is the only way to get Mukti. That is what is being achieved in this description. Nana Chidra Ghatodara Sthita Mahadeepa Prabhavaswaranyanam. Where is this Jnana? It is inside you. You are Jnana. Jnanamaya. Atma is Jnanamaya. Nana Chidra Ghatodara Sthita Mahadeepa Prabhavaswaranyanam. Yasya tu Chakshuradi Karana Dvara Bahispandate. Janamiti tameva bhantam anubhatye tat samastan jagat tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. So, there is a pot, Nana Chidra Ghatodara Sthita Mahadeepa Prabhavaswaram, a pot with many holes, and inside that pot there is a light, Jyoti, Deepam. And that light is emanating out from those holes into the outside world. What is that pot? This body is that pot. What is that light? The self-effulgent, the knower, feeler, thinker, enjoyer, the spark of intelligence. That is the self. Now, what are these holes? Eyes, ears, nose, mouth. These are the holes out of which it is emanating outside, and therefore the process of perception is taking place. Janami iti. I am knowing. The knower says, the knower feels, I am knowing. Janami iti tameva bhantam anubhatyetat samastam jagat. If the knower doesn't know, the whole universe doesn't exist. Janami iti tameva bhantam anubhatyetat samastam jagat. The consciousness, the capability to know, only that is the responsible agent for recognition, cognition, observation of this universe. Otherwise, it is not there. So that this knowledge is which is Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. This knowledge is which is delivered by this Guru Dakshinamurti through his lecture of silence. Deham pranamapi indriyanyapi chalam buddhim cha shunyam viduhu स्त्रीबालान्धजडोपमात् स्वहमिति भ्रान्ता भृशं वादिनः मायाशक्तिविलासकल्पित महाव्यामोहसंहारिणे तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये. So now the question of who am I? Ramana Maharshi also raise the same question. You raise the same question, who am I? What is the answer given? The first answer given is that I am the body, Deham. The second answer, I am the life, prana, life energy. Third answer, I am the senses and the mind and the intellect. Deham pranam api indriyanyapi chalam buddhincha shunyam viduhu. The last answer is that I am shunya. Because nothingness is what is experienced in this samadhi state, sarvashunyam, nirabhasam, samadhistasya lakshanam. So Buddhists declare that the shunya, nothingness, is the ultimate self-reality. I am shunya. All these answers are wrong. Deham pranamapi indriyan pichalam buddhincha shunyam viduhu stri balandha jadopamat tvahamiti bhranta bhrusham vadinaha. This is nonsense answer being given by innocent people. Balas, andhas, jadas. Such people give such answers. Bhranta, under bhranti, illusion. Bhrishamvadinaha, talking rubbish, talking nonsense. Why? Because of the Maya. Maya Shakti Vilasa Kalpita Mahavyamoha Samharine. Who can destroy that Vyamoha due to Maya? Mahavyamoha created by Maya Shakti. That Dakshinamurthy, Ishvara Guru, Atmeti, he alone can do it. Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. राहुग्रस्त दिवाकेन्दु सदृशो माया समाच्छादनात् तन्मात्रः करणोप संहरणतो यो भूत्सुषुप्तः पुमान् प्रागस्वाप्यमिति प्रबोध समये यः प्रत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. राहुग्रस्त दिवाकरेन्दु सदृशो माया समाच्छादना. In the solar eclipse and lunar eclipse, Rahu and Ketu, they are nothing but shadows. They will cover up the Surya Bimbam, the entire sun and the entire moon also. So that is for a limited period. Rahugrasta divakarendu sadrusho. Similar to that, Maya samachhadanat. When you are covered, shrouded with Maya, clouded with Maya, cluttered with Maya, covered with Maya, superimposed with Maya, what will happen? Maya samachhadanat. Sanmatra karanopasambharanatah yo bhut sushuptah puman. You will be in deep sleep. You will not know anything. You will be in deep ignorance. That's what we are all normally in. We are within Maya. In the Vyavaharika Satta, Maya alone has the existential reality. So we are within that. Pragaswapnyamiti swapnyamit prabodha samaye. After you wake up from the dream, you will realize this whole thing was a farce. It is like, nowadays you'll get a phone call saying that, your bank account money has gone, this happened, that happened, and so many things have happened, and now you have to pay this much and all that and all that. We have seen this cyber crimes. It is a Maya. Within that, people who are within that spell, they cannot come out of it. With great difficulty, one could come out of it. So many people could not come out. They lost crores of rupees. So that is another modern version of cyber crime, which is also a big Maya. And another Maya we know is the movie. In the movie, people see somebody dies in the movie and people start crying and weeping. And some of them even commit suicide. When MGR died, a lot of them commit suicide. So it is all kind of a Maya, which is a delusion on the mind. So this Rahugrasta Diva Pagaswapnamiti Prabodha Samaye. When you wake up, pratyabhijnayate, you recall, this is all a Maya, it is all a dream. I am alone there. All that is a big dream, bad dream. Such a bad dream, never again. Such a sabena. We have so many experiences in our life. We would like to describe them as such a bad dream, never again. प्रागस्वाप्तमिति प्रबोधसमये यः प्रत्यभिज्ञायते प्रत्यभिज्ञा अभिज्ञान Dushyanta forgets his interaction with his wife Shakuntala. Pratyabhijna, and then he recalls at the end. He forgets due to one shapam, curse. Once the shapam is completed, he recalls. So once a Rahu or Ketu, that eclipse is completed, you regain your consciousness as the only one truth, and that is the self. Pragaswapnamiti prabodha samaye ya pratyabhijnayate tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. So, not only in dream, but even in deep sleep, Sushupti Samaye, you forgot everything, and then you wake up after the sleep. Then you realize, okay, I am the same person who was before sleep, and after sleep, I am independent of that sleep. Pratyabhijna, that is, Pragaswapsamiti prabodha samaye ya pratyabhijnayate. Rahugrasta divakarendra sadrisho maya samachcharanat sanmatra karanopasamhanataha. All the karanas, the instruments, the indriyas are all withdrawn in the deep sleep. Yo bhut sushuptah puman. The man is in deep sleep, sushupti. Pragaswapnamiti, before the dream, and after the dream also, and because dream is before and after the deep sleep. Prabodha samaye yah pratya. Then he wakes up, then he recalls, okay, man, this was just a sleep, dream, and then after that deep sleep, I slept happily. And who is feeling that? Who is recognizing, I had a good sleep, I was so happy, I slept happily? Who is recognizing that? That is the self. Because in all the three states, you are shuttling, but you are not these three states or the experiences of those three states. You are independent. So this is what in the Mandukya Upanishad it has been explained. Vishwasa, Tejasa, Prajna, three states are there. So the one who is experiencing all these three is the self. That is you, I. So when you wake up, happily I slept. You felt pragas swapnamiti prabodha samaye ya pratyabhijnayate. He is knowing it. Who is doing that? The self is doing it, and that self is same as the supreme self, and which is the same as Ishvara, which is the same as Guru Dakshinamurti. Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. Of course, there are commentaries on Pratyabhijna by Sureshwaracharya. Bhatasya kasachit purvam bhavamanasya sampratam soyamit anusandhanam pratyabhijnanam uchyate. That means a recollection of an identity or experience of the past in the present. It is called pratyabhijna. Balyadishvapi jagratadvi sada sarvasvavasthasvapi vyavruttastvanuvartamanamahamityanta yada ahamityanta sada Swatmanam prakatīkaroti bhajatam yo mudraya bhadraya. Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. Balyadishvapi, in the childhood, in babyhood, in the cradle, Jagrata Divisada, and later in different states of our existence, in waking state, in deep sleep state, in dream state, Sarvasvavasthasvapi, even though shuttling in all these states, Vyavrittasvanuvartamanam ahamityantaspurantam sada. Always your self awareness continues to exist uninterrupted. I am happy. I slept happily and got up. I had a dream. I am hungry. I am happy. I am not happy, or I am seeing this, the baby in the cradle. Since then till today, continuous transformation of the consciousness, even though the changes are there in the experiences, the experiencer, the feeler, thinker, enjoyer, the self-pure consciousness remains the same. Balyadishvapi jagratadishu sada tatha sarvasvavasthasvapi vyavrittasvanuvartamanam, continuously existing, experienced, existing continuously, anuvartamanam, ahamiti, I am, tam ahamit atyantaspurantam yada, strong awareness of the self-existence. Now you see, if you go back to your childhood village or childhood house, then you will see that, you'll recall your childhood identity. So you can mentally see yourself in childhood, in that particular, I had a meeting with my school classmates yesterday, and then we all felt as if we were school children and we were enjoying jumping, screaming, and all that at the age of 72. So that means that self-awareness is independent of the body age or even the mind. So it is shuttling. Balyadishvapi, Jagratadishvara, Sarvasvasthasvapi. In all the states, it is shuttling. It is continuously experiencing different states of experience. But the experiencer, who am I, is remaining the same. So, Vyavrittasvanuvartamanamahamityantस्फुरन्तं sada swatmanam prakatīkaroti bhajatam yo mudraya bhadraya. And he who is expressing that self state to his chinmudra, bhadra chinmudra, tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. भूरंभांस्य निलो निलोम्भरधर महन्नाथो हिमां सप्पुमान् नित्याभाति चराचरात्मकमिदं यस्यैव मूर्त्यष्टकम् नान्यत् किञ्चन विद्यते विमृशतां यस्मात् परस्माद् विभौ तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. Now, what do you see in the universe? You see earth, bhu, ambhamsi, that is water, anala, fire, anila, vayu, panchabhutas, prithivyapastejo, vayurakasha, ambara, akash, aharnadha, that is sun, himamshuhu, that is moon. This human being is seeing all these 8 as the manifestations. Ityabhati characharatmakamidam yasyaiva murtyasthakam. The charachara jagat, moving and unmoving jagat, is appearing like this with all these 8. Bhurambham senalo nilombaradharamahannadhohi mahimamshu pumannityabhati characharatmakamidam yasyaiva murtyashtakam. Because this is the original Prakriti worship with these 8 entry points. Prakriti is made up of this. Nanyat kinchana vidyate vimrishatam yasmat parasmad vibho. So this whole universe is not different from the Parabrahman. Vishwam bhutam bhuvanam chitram jatam jayamanam chayat sarvo hyesha rudraha tasmai rudraya namostu. In the Rudra we have this statement in the Veda: Vishwam bhutam bhuvanam chitram jatam jayamanam chayat. Whatever is already born and whatever is going to be born in this universe, sarvo hyesha rudraha. All this is nothing but the manifestation of Rudra. So this is there in the Mahanarayana Upanishad and also in the Rudradhyaya. So, Nanyat kinchana vidyate vimrishatam yasmat parasmad vibho tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye namaidam Sri Dakshinamurthy. So that which exists alone without a second, ekameva advitiyam brahma nehananasti kinchana. So that which exists in that way, and that is nothing but the supreme being. You can call him Parabrahman, you can call him Shiva, you can call him Narayana. It is all one and the same finally. And Tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. And such a Guru Murti, who is Shiva, who is Atma, who is Ishvara. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namah. So this 9 slokas are completed, and the last is Phalashruti. Sarvatmattvamiti spruti krutamidam yasmadamushmin stave tenasya sravanat tadardhamananat dhyanat cha sankirtanat sarvatmatva mahavibhuti sahitam syadishwaratvam swatah siddhetat punarashtadha parinatam aishwaryam avyahatam. If a person learns this stotra correctly, chants it, meditates upon it, repeats it, remembers it, contemplates upon it, understands it. Sarvatmattvamiti sputi krutamidam. So what is conveyed here? What is conveyed is sarvatmatvam, one universal self identity. Sputi krutamidam. Yasmad amushmin stave, in this stava, in this stotra, tenasya sravanat, by he listening to it like you are all doing it, tad ardha mananat, by remembering its meaning again and again and again, dhyanacha, by meditating on the meaning of the stotra and meditating on Dakshinamurti and Dakshinamurti stotra, sankirtanat, by singing it like I did partly, and you can just chant it, sing it. A lot of people simply chant it or sing it every morning. By doing that, sarvatmatva mahavibhuti sahitam syad ishwaratvam pumans, he will reach the highest good, aishwaryam avyahatam, the indestructible aishwaryam, wealth. The greatest wealth is jnana of sarvatmatva mahavibhuti, the great siddhi of being, you being the whole self, one self which is everything. Sarvatmatva mahavibhuti sahitam syadishwaratvam puman. Ishwaratvam here means independence. You are the Lord, you become independent from the Maya, Moha, Jagat. Sarvatmatva-maha-vibhuti sahidam syadishwaratvam puman swatasiddhetat punarashtadha parinatam aishwaryam avyahatam. So 8 types of grandeur, greatness. Parinatam, it will be changed. The oneness you will become the universe. You are the universe. Brahmatvam. Yesha Brahmi sthiti partha. Stitvasyam antakalapi Brahma nirvanam richati. Yesha Brahmi sthiti partha naivam prapya vimukhyati. Stitvasyam Brahm. Antakalepi Brahma nirvanam richati. You will reach the ultimate moksha liberation, which is the jnana based, and that acquisition of that supreme jnana is the greatest wealth, uncomparable wealth, Aishwaryam, Avyahatam, which cannot be removed. All other Aishwaryas, they are removable. Power, for example, will be very temporary for a few days or minutes or even seconds or whatever time period. Money also, it will not be there permanently. Sometimes it's not there, sometimes it is there, sometimes it is more, sometimes it is less. So, whereas the permanent Aishwarya Sthiti is Jnana, Brahma Jnana, Atma Jnana, and you will be able to reach that if you chant this Dakshinamurthy Stotram and also understand it, meditate upon it. So, this is the Phalasruti. सर्वात्मत्वमिति स्फुटीकृतमिदं यस्मादमुष्मिन् स्तवेतेनास्य श्रवणात् तदर्थमननाध्यानाच्च सङ्कीर्तनात् सर्वात्मत्वमहाविभूतिसहितं स्यादीश्वरत्वं स्वतः सिद्धेतत् पुनरष्टधा परिणतम् ऐश्वर्यमव्याहतम् ॐ Now I will read once again, just I will chant it from the beginning. Maunavyakhya prakadita parabrahmatattvam yuvanam varsishthante rasadrishagunairavrtam brahmanishthai acharyendram karakalita chinmudramanandarupam swatmaramam muditavadanam dakshinamurtimide. Maunavyakhya prakadita parabrahmatattvam yuvanam varsishthante असदृशिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैराचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपं स्वात्मारामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वटविटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषण्णं सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमारास त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवं जननमरण दुःखच्छेददक्षं नमामि ॐ नमः प्रणवार्धाय सत्यशुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः चित्रं वटतरुर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुर्युवा गुरवे गुरोस्तु मौनव्याख्यानं शिष्यास्तु छिन्न संशया मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वसिष्ठान्त असदृशगुणैवावृतैः ब्रह्मनिष्ठैराचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपं स्वात्मारामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणा मूर्तये नमः ॐ नमः प्रणवार्धाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यत्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राग्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयः स्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये यस्यैव स्फुरणं सदात्मकमसत्कल्पार्धकं भासते साक्षात् तत्त्वमसीति वेदवचसा यो बोधयत्याश्रितान् यत्साक्षात्करणात् भवेन्न पुनरावृत्तिः भवाम्भोनिधौ Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Nama Idam Sri Dakshinamurtaye Yasyaiva Spuranam Sadatmakam Asatkalpardhakam Bhasade Sakshat Tattvamasiti Veda Vachasa Yobodhayatyasridan Yat Sakshat Karanat Bhavenna Punaravritti Bhavambho Nidho Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye Nana Chidrakhatodara Sthita Mahadipa Prabhavaswaranyaram Yasya tu Chakshuradikarana Bahispandate Janamiti Tameva Bhantam Anuhatye Tat Samastan Jagat Tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye Deham Pranamapindriyanyapi Chalam Buddhincha Shunyam Viduho Sri Balandhavajadopamat Bhranta Bhrisham Vadinah Maya Shakti Vilasa Kalpita Mahavyamoha Samharine Tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye Rahugrasta Divakarendu Sadrusho Maya Samachhadanat Sanmatra Karanopasamharanato Yobhut Sushuptapuman Pragaswapnamiti Prabodha Samaye Yapratyabhijnayate Tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रतादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तस्त्वनुवर्तमानमहमित्यन्तःस्फुरन्तं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये विश्वं पश्यति कार्यकारणतया स्वस्वामि सम्बन्धतया शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृपुत्राध्यात्मना भेदतः स्वप्ने जागृति वा एष पुरुषो माया परिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये भूरम्भांस्यनिलोनिलोम्बरमहर्नाथो हिमांशु पुमान् नित्याभाति चराचरात्मकमिदं यस्यैव मूर्त्यष्टकं नान्यत् किञ्चन विद्यते विमृशताम् यस्मात् परस्माद् विभो तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये सर्वात्मत्वमिति स्फुटीकृतमिदं यस्मादमुष्मिन् स्तवे तेनास्य श्रवणात् तदर्थमरणात् ध्यानाच्च सङ्कीर्तनात् सर्वात्मत्व महाविभूति सहितं स्यादीश्वरत्वं पुमान् स्वतः सिद्ध्येतत् पुनरष्टधा परिणतम् ऐश्वर्यमव्याहृतम् ॐ तत्सत्
Thank you, Prabhuji, for a wonderful and I should say even melodious introduction to Dakshinamurthy Stotram. A very different session from your normal sessions. So I'm very glad we had this session. Viewers, if you have any questions, please put it in Q&A box and we will take up now. Please add your questions per Q&A box and we'll wait for a few minutes. As we wait, Prabhuji, I have heard that the very term, the very name Dakshinamurti could be understood in a different ways. Dakshina Amurti, Dakshina Murti, and Dakshina itself as Dakshata or as the right south direction. So, can you please share some thoughts on this different ways to understand the very term Dakshinamurti?
Yes, the two reasons I told already in my speech, as I heard from my own teachers, is the episode of Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, Sanat Sujata, four people who are sitting around him. You can see in the picture also. There are people sitting surrounding him. They wanted a guru and they were Bala Brahmacharis. They never married. And therefore, they kept Brahmacharya Pratham as a very strong vow. So they will not see or touch or think of the opposite sex, woman. So first they thought we need a guru. So they went to Brahmaloka because they are Brahma's own sons, Manasaputras. So there they saw that Brahma is rather corrupted by looking at Saraswati, who is playing Veena. So this man is looking at a woman. How can he be our guru? So they left Brahmaloka and went to Vishnaloka, Vaikuntha. And there it was even worse because Lakshmi Devi was pressing the legs. She's even touching Narayana. So they thought this man is even worse. So they went to Kailasam. There they were shocked to see that both are merged into one Ardhanarishwara. They said, no, 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 this will not work. So we want a pure brahmachari who is unaffected by a woman, and therefore we will return back. So Kailasam is in north. So they were returning from Kailasam. So they saw in the Dakshina Disha one image of a young man who is brahmachari. So that is how Dakshinamurthy, the name came. This is the version of the story. Then another thing is that he was always facing south only. So even in my house, I have his photograph facing south. You go to any temple, it will be facing south, except in Kalahasti is facing not south but north. Normally is facing south. So what happens when we turn towards Dakshinamurti, we are facing north. So it depends on which direction you face. Your sadhana will successful in that way. If you face towards north, it is meant for moksha. If you face towards east, it is not meant for moksha, it is meant for shubham. If you face south, that is definitely bad. So now that is for us. But Dakshinamurti faces south because of this reason which I gave, because he's, and then we all face north when you see him. So this is we have to face north when you see Dakshinamurti who is facing south. Now the word Dakshina can mean two, three other things. It can mean giving Dakshina, Guru Dakshina like that, or it can also mean Daksha, Dakshi, Dakshina, all those different meanings. They are all interpretations according to me. So there is no name. He is Shiva himself. Of course, there is another interpretation which says that during the period when Sati uh, left this world and Parvati didn't yet come up. So that is the period in which he was brahmachari and he was Dakshinamurti, and then he performed the instruction. He gave delivery of knowledge to all the Rishiganas, and Antevasi means students, and Rishiganas, and of course Sanaka Sanandana, Sanat Kumar, Sanat Sujatas, all surrounded him. But the beauty here is he never spoke a word. He just gave a silence, lecture of silence. So how is it possible? A lot of people may have this doubt, though they may not ask. How can you clarify the doubts without opening your mouth, without speaking any words? It is possible. It is possible because of the power of the person. You know, even we, you might have experienced when you go to some great saints or great gurus, you just sit there. Don't do anything. He will not speak to you. Like Shankaracharya, Chandrasekharananda, or anybody. They will not speak to you. You just simply go and sit there. Then gradually your clarity will come into your thought process. Your doubts will be satisfied. So, because it's a deep meditative process, it is not a theoretical, talkative thing. It is a deep experiential matter. So, when you, the very presence will have an impact. And that's why people go to saints even today. Darshan, they simply sit there for a while, or they may go to holy places. Nobody is speaking there. Simply going there itself will create an impact. So this is the answer. And now, in my own case, I was given this instruction long back by one of the gurus I had. And though I didn't implement what he told at that time, now I am implementing. I am daily performing the upasana every morning of Dakshinamurti. And the beauty here is it is giving results. It gives results because it will clear up the clutter in the head and it will give you clarity on the Advaita concept and the experience. And if you daily perform the upasana, then you will actually reach that stage. Sarvatmattvamiti spratikritamidamashmadamishminstave tenasya sravanat tadartha mananat jhanat cha sankirtanat sarvatmatva mahavibhuti sahitam syat iswaratvam pama. You will reach freedom. You will be in control of everything. And what more, people like Chaganti Kotiswara is a very famous speaker. They declared that by performing the upasana of Dakshinamurthy, your karma will be destroyed. Your karma of the past lives, which is reflected in your horoscope or in your hand lines, that can be destroyed by the Dakshinamurti upasana. How is it possible? Because in the Bhagavad Gita also, Jnanagni Dagdhu Karmanam. When the jnana has arisen, it will burn away the karma. Otherwise, moksha can never be achieved. If you are always going to be affected only by karma and it will never be burnt by jnana, then how can you say jnana mukti? So moksha can be achieved only through jnana, because jnana will destroy the karma. Because the karma is coming out of jivatva, false identification, and the vasanas of this life and the previous lives. So by repeated meditation, upasana on the Dakshinamurti, you will be able to get Advaita Jnana and therefore moksha by destroying your karma.
Thank you, Prabhuji. We have received one question. To elaborate on what Maya is, how we can understand Maya?
Okay. It's very easy for students of science or physics or chemistry. Now, the universe which appears to you, for example, right now, you are seeing me and Nitin, but we are not there in front of you. We are in a remote location. Is all part of Maya. If you go to a movie, whatever happens in the movie is nothing but Maya. It is not real. It appears to be real, but it is not real. And similarly, in a dream, whatever happens in the dream, I was also having not a very good dream this morning. I was feeling threatened and all that. So when I wake up, then it was only a dream. So many dreams are appearing to be real, but they are not real. They will appear to be real during that time. So Maya also is appearing to be real during its own time. At a given time, at a given situation, space-time continuum, it will appear to be real. Now, in terms of physics or chemistry, if you ask, what is this in front of you? You have your house, you have your furniture, you have your family members. If you ask from physics point of view, atomic physics, or even chemistry point of view, what is all this? There is no such thing. What all you are seeing with your senses is not really there. What really there are only molecules and atoms and particles, electrons, protons, neutrons. And then if you go further, the 400 fundamental particles and the waves and the energy, that is what is there according to physics and chemistry. But what you see with your senses is a relative, temporary, apparent truth, but it's not absolute. This is very common sense, everybody knows. So what is real is not known. What is unreal appears to be there. And you can also tell a lot of other examples of Maya. What people talk, mostly people talk lies, and that is all Maya only. And these are all different explanations for Maya. And of course, the one thing I have to tell you is that in Advaita Vedanta, there are three states of existence or three realities. Satta, Vyavaharika Satta, that is practical. In day-to-day practical reality, whatever you see as a real world exists and you are carrying on. Like you're driving a car, you are a driver to the policeman. He is not bothered who you are in reality. You are just a driver. And cars are running here and there in the road. And sometimes some people wonder why all these people are going and where they are going. So that is practical realities that the universe, the world goes on as it looks like, as it appears, it goes on. That is Vyavaharika Satta. But then the other extreme is Paramatmika Satta, Brahman. Final truth is that which is both matter and energy, appearing as different forms of matter, different forms of energy, depending on the space-time framework of the observer. Paramarthika Satta, Brahman, X, which becomes E or M in E is equal to MC square. That X is the Paramarthika Satta, Brahman, Brahmi. And then in between we have the pratibhasika sattas. So the Vyavaharika Satta is rooted in the Pratibhasika Satta. I am so and so, I have so and so house, I have so and so family, I have so and so problem, I have so and so necessity. Therefore, that is at the background, the Jivatvad, so and so relationship, so and so conditions, so and so circumstances. So because of which the Vyavahara, practical reality is getting generated. So Vyavaharika Satta, Pratibhasika Satta and Paramarthika Satta. So 3 levels of realities, Shankaracharya himself admitted and accepted the Maya as a Vyavaharika Satta. It has existence, reality in the Vyavahara only, but it has Vyavaharika Satta. It is not totally unreal. It has reality in practical life. The Paramarthika Satta is in Paramartha, in the ultimate absolute sense. All this is an illusion. And I'll conclude your answer to your question by quoting a definition of Maya given by Shankaracharya himself, I think, in Vivek Chudamani. Sanna pyasanna pyubhayatmika no. You cannot say Maya is Sat, that is existing, Asat, non-existing, or both existing and non-existing. Bhinna pyabhinna pyubhayatmika no. You cannot say Maya is different from Brahman, or it is same as Brahman, or both different and same as Brahman. Now then what is that? Sanga, Pyananga, Pyabhayatma is Maya. You cannot say whether Maya is single entity or it has got components, parts, or both. Then what can you say? You can say nothing. Mahadbhuta, it is most wonderful. Anirvachaniya, undefinable. Maya is definition is undefinability. So by using undefinability, the Sunyavada nihilism of Buddhists was defeated. Because they were talking of minus infinity nihilism, whereas infinity can be plus infinity or minus infinity. It need not be minus infinity or zero. Buddhists were insisting that finally sarvam shunyam shunyam is a big zero. So when you talk of infinity, it can be minus infinity, zero, and plus infinity also. The entire spectrum of numbers is infinity, entire spectrum of reality is infinity, and that is Brahman, and that manifested form is Maya, Vyavaharika Satta. I think I have given a lot of explanation to your question.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for a wonderful session and wonderful response to a very important question on Maya. With this, we come to a conclusion of this session, and with prayers in the heart for to Bhagavan Dakshinamurthy to bless all of us, we can conclude the session. Viewers, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we will end the session now. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha.